people of YouTube, people of internet, people of the world. It is me, the Classic Juan, coming to you from my ever-growing gaming studio and stream place. How's it going? How are you? Thanks for joining me this evening. So what's up, everybody? Today we're playing more Resident Evil 0. So shortly after we finished our stream last time, I went ahead and just played the game all over again and got us to the spot where I died. So hopefully that won't happen, and if it does, well, we'll just kind of play that boss until we get through it, because that suit. I do want to apologize for my last stream, because that was in a weird place. But we are super prepared. I think I was just caught off guard because I didn't have my Resident Evil 2, and that's what I was looking forward to playing. So we're going to keep going through Resident Evil 0. Now that I've gotten all in the mix of the mood for playing some Resident Evil 0. So just a little background on Resident Evil 0 before we continue on. Resident Evil 0 was created for the GameCube, and so there's actually a higher definition version of it. I know this on this screen probably looks really good, and that's because we're currently using the GameCube high definition adapter by Eon, which is a fantastic device. And if you're a classic gamer, retro gamer, or you enjoy GameCube games, I highly recommend picking one of these up. They are fantastic. Beer. Yes, I will talk about beer. Hold your horses. So yes, Resident Evil 0. We're going to be going through this. This actually takes place a couple days before Resident Evil 1, which we just finished playing. And it does, one of the characters is Rebecca Chambers, who is actually a character that is in the first Resident Evil game. We didn't see that on my stream because that actually happens in the Leon component of the story, which we didn't, the Chris Redfield component of the story, which we didn't get into. But if we had, we would have seen the main character for this game there. It would have been an inconsistent version of this character, but this character nonetheless. The beer that I will be drinking today. So if you saw the Instagram post, I actually have my beer in a growler that I bought this time around. So it is by a company called Brash Brewing. It's out of Houston, Texas. The beer that I'm drinking is called Cali Green. Not like weed. I'm sure it just has something to do with the hops. But so Cali Green is kind of an interesting beer. The reason that I chose it was just because I wanted to basically just test my palate with varying IBU units. So if you notice here on the streams, we like to try to figure out where the IBUs land if they're not necessarily noted on the cans, just because we feel like, just kind of testing our skills. IBU is really tricky because once you get above 60, 70, it's very hard to differentiate anything above that. You can differentiate, like 20s, 40s, 60s, maybe 80s into those brackets, and then everything above that is just really hard to taste. This Cali Green is an IBU of 114, so really high. A lot of hops in this beer. The alcohol content is 7%, and so I had to buy it just because I felt like this would be an interesting thing to drink. And oh my goodness, is it delicious. Holy moly. You would never peg it for an IBU as high as it has, because it is just such a fantastic smooth beer. So I actually don't have it to pour. I've already pre-poured it. Here it is in my big old mug. Usually you'll get about a finger's tip or a finger width worth of head. This has been sitting on my counter for probably about the last 5 minutes, and that was enough time to get the head to go down. It's done that. So let's take a quick sip and I'll tell you all about it. So super aromatic this beer is. You can smell the hops as soon as you bring the mug up to your face or your glass to your face. The second thing, we talked about the appearance, nice kind of amber color that it has. The flavor, it's immediate bitterness as soon as you taste it. If you give it a second, that bitterness turns into a sweetness. That sweetness then turns into a citrus flavor, and then it just kind of leaves refreshingly. It's not overcarbonated. It doesn't burn to drink. It's just such a smooth beer to take in that it makes you actually want to drink a lot of it, which is probably what we're going to end up doing. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, because that's what we're going to do today. So strongly recommend this beer. If you want to taste your palate kind of be a little bit adventurous with IBU content of beers, highly recommend this beer. If you're into hoppy beers, IPAs, that kind of stuff, this is an American pale ale. And if you're into pale ales, strongly recommend this guy. Brash Brewing out of Houston, Texas. This is the first beer I've had from them. So far, so good. So we'll see kind of as we go forward with tasting more of their beers, what that's all going to be like. All right, guys. Well, let's get back into this game and let's do this thing. So I'm actually going to try to not use the walkthrough just because I feel like the game kind of lends itself to not needing it. And so we're just going to play the game. And if I get stuck, then we'll look at it. All right. I'm actually going to listen up here, so I'm going to take one of my headpiece things off. Alright, so there we are, cabin 1. Just made a little save right before we died last time, so hopefully just pick up right where we started. I'm going to have to refigure out some of the mechanics of the game here just because. That running. All right. So I think we were actually on our way to the conductor's room. Yo, it is the Jack of all games. How are you, sir? Welcome to the stream. We are playing some more Resident Evil 0. Use the train key. Don't seem to need it anymore. Get rid of it. So how do you think this series is progressing in terms of its roots in Sweet Home? You know, it's very evident that with the first game that the root was there for the Sweet Home. We already read this last time. And you still get some of the door opening, the climbing, and all that kind of stuff. But it was a very stark departure from Sweet Home, even from the first game. And I'm just going to pause this real quick just to make a comment about it. So with Sweet Home, obviously the bad guys were ghouls and goblins and that kind of stuff. It was more paranormal, whereas this is very heavily zombie inspired. And the reason that change was made is when they went from Sweet Home to Resident Evil when they were making it, George A. Romero was actually, zombies were becoming a really big hit at the time. And so they wanted to go with something that was more physical than metaphysical for the villains, and so they kind of went with that zombie that was a little bit more real, and so they kind of steered away, and that's where it shifted. And so you get really good storyline in kind of Resident Evil 1. Resident Evil 2 is my favorite, Resident Evil 3, and then it starts to get really wonky once you get to the kind of Resident Evil 3, going back to Resident Evil 0. Here you're going to see a lot of weird, like, metaphysical, psychic, like, weird stuff, and it just kind of gets really unusual, and I think they're trying to correct a lot of that. But yeah, as far as in relation to Sweet Home and how it's all gone down, it's a very, very evident departure from that kind of humble beginnings, I would say. Not yet. So it definitely hasn't progressed the way that I would have imagined it would have. Dank Souls, sub to your channel. I also drink plenty of cold, delicious beer. Cheers to everyone. Dark Souls, cheer to you. Killer Ninja 44, cheers to you, good sir. Dank Souls, what are you drinking currently? And what's your favorite beer? I'd like to know. What would you think if you would try to shift to the metaphysical in terms of ghosts and goblins? I think it might work out. I think you can't Resident Evil shift into that place. But I think it's something that can be successful in another game. So yeah, I don't think that Resident Evil would survive if they try to do that shift. This guy. course I want to flip the switch. Flip the switch. Flip the switch. So right now I'm drinking a beer, if you guys missed the intro, called Cali Green. It's by a company called Brash Brewing Company. It's out of Houston, Texas, local Texas beer. IBU is a 114, but super delicious. Super delicious beer. There's something terrifying up there. This shot right here is one of my favorites in this game. It's almost cinematic, and I just love it. And I love that with the HD, you can see the rain. It's just a great shot. I just really enjoy that specific scene in this game. It's one of my favorites. It's just visually appealing. We'll take this ice pick. I am drinking a special edition of Sierra Nevada IPA. Excellent choice, good sir. Excellent choice. Dank Souls knows what he's doing. We'll go back to this room to pick up some of this stuff. So one of the interesting things about this game that they did for some ungodly reason, I mean, I can figure out a reason why, but the thing that they did that really just drove a lot of people nuts, including me, drives me nuts, is they got rid of the storage boxes. So you can never take your stuff from one place to the next. If you want to move stuff, you have to essentially traverse it there across the map. So you have to come back, grab all your stuff, then take it to the new part of the map. Then come back, grab all your stuff, take it to the new part of the map. So it's a lot of moving and dumping. So we're not going to do that. We're going to try to see if we can't get it to go all in one go without making a lot of special trips. But we'll see how it goes. One of the things that and Mr. Senor was asking me about earlier is how the games kind of compare to each other. And I think one of the things that's very... No, don't want that. One of the things that's very evident... Jesus. It's a terrible place to drop that. One of the things that's very evident is the menu management. Like we had, if you watch the stream for Sweet Home that's on the channel under the Resident Evil saga, you'll see that it's a lot of menu management, just a lot of popping up the menu, kind of like this, and kind of managing directions and all that kind of stuff. It's a little bit more seamless because it doesn't take you to a whole nother screen. It's kind of within the screen that it happens, which I really like. But you're popping in and out of that screen a lot, just kind of like you do with the Resident Evil games, popping in and out of this menu a lot. Let's see if we, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can kill this thing. Whoa. The specs that keep popping up in the corner are related to my GameCube that GameCube high definition adapter. I'll need to access it and fix that and get rid of it. Makes you wonder how I died the first time. Now that we're getting through this, I told you I was in a funk. Let's see. Who's your favorite Resident Evil character? My favorite Resident Evil character is Leon, and that's only because I really enjoy Resident Evil 2. For me, it would go. I would go for Nemesis as far as the good guys character. I think Leon Kennedy. Yeah, so I'm with Dank Souls. Leon is one of my favorite characters, and I'm kind of glad that they're bringing him back for. Or not bringing him back, obviously. They've changed his character presentation in the remake of the Resident Evil 2 from what they've said, and so I'm kind of excited for that. High five on Nemesis. Chris is my dude. Chris. Oh. So one of the things they mentioned, and what I was actually going to say, or I guess what I wanted to say but I didn't say properly, is that they're bringing back Chris Redfield, or you're going to get to play as Chris Redfield in the Resident Evil 2 remake that they're having, and you can see a significant difference between strength and the way that they carry themselves and the way that they respond to weapons fire between the two of them, because obviously Chris is a bigger hulking dude who's obviously got some history with military kind of style weapons, versus Leon is obviously a police officer, doesn't have a whole lot of upper body strength, and it's kind of his first day on the job, so you notice a significant difference in the gameplay with the two characters. Which I'm excited to see. That swinging around can still hurt you, so you gotta be careful. Don't move until he's dead. Is he dead? I think he's dead. Alright, so we don't need this. Leave that behind. We do need this. That. And we'll come back over here and grab a couple other things. High five, yo. Only in Resident Evil. So one of the like recurrent complaints about Resident Evil 0 is a lot of the boss battles are actually just like large insects or animals of some type. So basically every boss battle that you're going to see is going to be some variant of like that, where I just fought like a big ass scorpion. Probably going to fight like a big ass snake at some point, or a big ass fly, or some ridiculous something. So stay tuned. Oh, don't want to do that. So don't be surprised if I'm buzzed by the end of this stream, because that beer is super alcoholic-y, and I can feel it. can feel it starting to wear into my pores. I'm not gonna lie, I had some before I started the stream. Alright, let's make sure we're all loaded up here. Nope. Trying to remember how to change him from just being idle to attacking. We no longer need the Shadai. Shadai. I think I might be Z. We'll hit the Z button when we get to the bottom here. No, that's for the map. We'll come back for the briefcase. I'll take the briefcase now. Oh, damn it. Alright, we'll come back for the briefcase then. That's what I'm going to do. I know. I'm going to save the game, and I'm going to drop all of my saving ribbons in this room, because what's the point of carrying around if I can't save it anyway? So, record data, yes, because we don't want bad things to happen. Just leave this here. So one of the interesting things, kind of getting off topic from the Resident Evil 0 and kind of talking about Resident Evil 2 for a quick second. One of the interesting things about Resident Evil 2, and I actually played it on the GameCube, I actually played it on the Nintendo 64, which is what we were going to do. I just couldn't get my Elgato to pick it up for streaming. But one of the interesting things about it is you cannot delete your save files. So if I would have brought it up, you'll see like 30 something save files from all the times that I've played that game. When I was young, the multiple different, episodes that we played multiple times and all that stuff. And so it's really interesting in that you cannot delete it. And I think the reason for that is because I don't think the save files are actually saved to your memory card. I think the save is actually saved to the 64 cartridge itself. And so that results in not being able to delete them. And so it's kind of an interesting thing. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's the way that it works, and that's why you can't get rid of them. You can override them, you can save on top of other files, but you cannot delete them. No zombies? There's something terribly wrong here. Oh yeah, and I was going to ask you guys while I got you here, do you guys like having me here in the corner, or would you rather just me not be up here at all and just enjoy the gameplay? Just curious. I can get rid of myself if that'll make things more enjoyable for you guys. I just want the experience to be pleasant. Mr. Senor says he likes me here. I'm cool with you there, bro. Thanks, Souls. I appreciate that. I appreciate the input. Alrighty. Plus, it allows me to cheers. Cheers, clinkies. Oh, and then we went to this brewery. You can't really see it. It's called ABGB. It's the Austin Beer Garden and Brewing Company. Great beers there. Fantastic beers. We will be going back. I will be talking about one of those beers probably in the next stream or so. You see how my homeboy here was just standing with his hand on his hip? He's just chilling. I feel like the knife could have been fairly easy to use on the doorknob. I mean, I'm not 100% certain. I'm just saying. I kind of feel like it would have been. Nope. So one of the things about this game that's a little different than other Resident Evil games is you don't really want to waste your ammo just shooting at everybody. You want to preserve some of that ammo. So, yeah. Let's regroup. I do remember the save options, yet I also had many saves as well. Yeah, I just tons. So I actually never owned Resident Evil 0, that's why you don't see any saves up there, but if I had, it'd be chock full of them. Alright, let's see what we got here. I think we're okay the way we are for now. I don't know how to change that idle attack. I don't remember how to do that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, attack. Okay. Team. Change. Okay. Enter the cross space? Sure, why not? What's the worst thing that can happen when you walk through a tiny little crevice? Oh, of course. You get dead. Well. Ah. Every RPG I have ever played, I am a save for. Disgusted with myself. You should be, Mr. Senor. You should be disgusted with yourself. Who even saves anymore? Now it auto saves. Now it doesn't even give you the option. The games nowadays are like, we're gonna save for you here because you might die. So we're just gonna take this opportunity for you. Because you're probably gonna suck. Oops. Nope. It's having fun and enjoying the game what matters. That's right. Dang Souls gets it. Just enjoy the game. Have a good time. But at the same time, like with most classic games, you don't want to die and have to start all the way from the beginning, because how terrible is that? use, pull the lever, and release the lock. Oh, I see what's happening here. It's a mini game. Pull it. Switch. We grab. Yeah, we'll take it. This device should only be used when inspecting difficult to access cart routes or when connecting special trains. Return to its proper location after use. 1. Where to use. There is a ladder outside the small window by the first floor section door of the third carriage. Fire the device so that it hooks high onto the ladder. 2. Using the winch to climb after securing the hook. Use the winch to lift yourself up. This grappling hook can only lift one person at a time. Be aware that the unit may be damaged if lifting more than 80 kilos. So that means Mr. Senor cannot use this device. And neither could I, for that matter, because 80 kilos is like 165 pounds-ish. Oh, what's on the floor over here? What am I waiting? Oh. I don't care about the odor. Grab the thing. We're going to use it. Okay. Here we go. Whoa. Oops. I don't know how I remember a lot of these things. It's like when you haven't played a game in a long time and then you go back to playing it and then it's like instinctual. It's really weird. I don't know if you guys have ever had that experience where you like go back to playing a game that you haven't played in a long time and you're like, oh man, this just feels right. That's kind of how this game feels to me. Resident Evil 2 is my favorite game. Don't get me wrong. But this is like a really close second. Like, really close. As lame as a lot of people find this game, it's just enjoyable to me. I don't think I need another knife. I think I have a knife. Super creepy. I know people look at this and they're like, oh, that's not terrifying at all. I'm like super like not scared of anything. But if you saw that in real life, You can't tell me that you wouldn't be freaking terrified of that non-sensories. Like, that's just terrifying. It's just a terrifying thing all around. Taking. Also of note for this game that's very interesting, you have to examine things. It's like you have to do things like you would in real life. We're gonna have to combine. Let's take a looky. Alright, this is where things start to get interesting. Alright, let's make sure everybody's got all their bullets. Yeah, we'll just leave it the way it is. Follow me. I don't know. I like Rebecca Chambers in this game more for some reason. I always play her. I'm gonna go look over here. I don't think there's anything over here for me. Oh, yes, I know. Now I remember where I'm at. Did I leave anything in this room of importance? No. Okay. Actually, I didn't look in the closet. Always important to look in the closets. You never know what you're going to find in there. Don't waste your bullets, man. So I've been audiobooking a book recently. Actually, a book series. It's called the Helldiver series. It is freaking entertaining. This is probably one of the first book series in a long time that I've read, that I've wanted to continue to read. And it's actually currently, in March, I think, of this year, they released a third book. The fourth book is supposed to come out later this year. It is a straight up adult post-apocalyptic survival horror, just action-y all around badass book. So if you're into like sci-fi, horror, post-apocalyptic, just badasseries, this book's probably for you. So Helldivers, it's fairly cheap if you want to just straight up read it. The paperbacks are like $3 or $4 on Amazon. If you want to get the audiobooks, it gets to be a little bit more pricey just because they tend to be that way, due to the fact that I guess they have to pay for somebody to read them. But that's a great book series if you're into reading, or just like being entertained by anything other than games. Right. So we're here. Is this not where I use this? Huh. Where do I use this? Mm-hmm. Let's see. Use the blue key card at the panel at the end. Looks like I missed a couple things. Alright. Weird. I think the blue key card should work here. Did I miss something? Am I missing something? Man, I'm almost 100% certain this key card goes in here. I wonder if the game doesn't want me to like go back another way. Let's do this. Let's just kind of head back up and go back down the other way. We're going to backtrack here just a scooch. See what I did wrong or missed. Don't shoot me. What's wrong with you? That fool's shooting me. So we're gonna have to be coming through here in a bit, so we want to kill these guys. I know you're still alive. No te hagas. Alright, guess not. There it is. That's what I did wrong. There we go. Welcome back, Jack of all games, fully. Destroy the train. Yes, that's Albert Wesker. No, no. Let me I really like subtitles, but clearly that's not an option. Are you playing this on GameCube? Yes, I am playing this on the GameCube. The GameCube. That thing. I'm playing it. Yes, I am. But we're using, like I mentioned before, the GameCube HD by Eon, which is making us have a digital HDMI output, which is upscaling significantly. You'll see the rendering graphics up in the top or right hand corner of your screen, right next to me on that side whenever we switch screens here. So you'll probably see that pop up here in a minute. I noticed a huge difference. It is like night and day with the HD output. It's pretty impressive. I really enjoy it. And considering how much I play the GameCube, because I really enjoyed this console, it was definitely worth the investment. So I ended up paying about 120 bucks for it at Classic Game Fest. It typically runs about 150, but we got a pretty good deal, $30 off. And it was definitely worth the money considering how frequently I play this console. And we'll probably be streaming it a lot more frequently now that we have it, because I think you guys will probably notice the difference. So I probably will try to do a pre-recorded video at some point in the future, just to show you the difference in the quality. We gotta stop this thing. Brake operation manual. Using the brake control, the following 3 steps are necessary to operate the brakes. Step 1, activating the controls. Brake controls are located in the following locations: first car driver's compartment, rear deck of the 5th car. To activate the system, you must insert the magnetic card into the device in the 5th car. This will supply power to both sets of controls. Step 2, enter your rear deck code. Enter the code for the rear deck unit to release the lock. After the driver's compartment code can be input. Enter driver's compartment code. Enter the code for the driver's compartment unit to remove the lock. Upon completion of these 3 steps, the manual brakes will be available for use. Pre-recorded videos. It is our kryptonite. It is our kryptonite. We like to live stream. We like to hang out with the people, chat. I've been chatting with Dang Souls. It's been more than fun doing that. Jack of all games and Mr. Senor is always fun to chill with you guys, but Dang Souls is a newcomer, and I'm happy that he's here, and it's definitely been fun to chat with him.
I'll go over to the back deck and manipulate the control panel for the brake. You stay here and apply the brake when ready.
Okay. Rebecca.
Don't screw up.
I won't.
I won't, sucker. Oh damn, this shit is timed? I don't remember this being timed, but alright, we're doing this thing. Let's not screw this up! Alright, so we might not be shooting a whole lot of zombies, maybe we'll be doing a whole lot of running. Yep, nope, screw you guys. I'm not gonna shoot you. I don't have time for that shizness. I'm just gonna keep on running. Just gonna keep on running. Running, running, running. I ain't got time for this shizness. Oh, that dude's gone. Oh. Nope. Ain't got time for you, bull. Ain't got time for it. Fuck me. Ah. Run! I swear if it wasn't timed, it would be done in 2 minutes. But at the timer, it somehow magically gets more difficult. Yeah, I know, right? The music cut out. What's happening? Billy! Oh, is that Billy? I don't know what that guy's name is. Edward! Mm-mm. This better not be some Twilight reference before the time.
Stop! Come any closer! Don't come any
Closer! Well, we're gonna have to shoot the guy. I'm not trying to die here. I'm just trying to finish the objective. I'm trying to kill all the zombies. We ain't got time for zombie killing. Zombie killing is for another day. Another game. Like Resident Evil 2. Even though we run away from zombies, because that's what we do. If any George Romero movie has taught me anything, is that just get away from the zombies. Just don't let them kind of get around you. You don't have to shoot them all. Just don't die. All right, where am I going? Over here. There is a hand-operated brake here. You'll need a magnetic card to operate it. The clock is still ticking. Why am I wasting time? $81. You use this to operate. Okay, 81. Shoot. Ha! That was just a mistake. I thought I was going to get all the way to 81 by hitting 9 times.
Over.
That was like a happy coincidence is what that was. Alright, what do we got? 36. 6 times 6 is 36? Not. 6. 36, 9. 27. 27, 9. Magic. I knew it was a 3 and a 9. I just didn't remember the order. I told you I played this game. You know, I don't know if there's any save points coming up. It's gonna suck.
Rebecca. Rebecca.
Here.
Are you alright? Are you alright? Hey, you managed to stop the train. We have to find a way out.
Oh yeah, Mr. Senor is working on that pre-recorded shizness. Oh. We're just gonna run. Ah, damn it. Fucking run! Actually, we want that stuff, so we're just gonna take the time. We'll take this thing. What's this over here? Nope, don't need that. What's this thing? Oh, I think that's the, yeah, we don't need that. What's this? Get us to caution. Alright. Alright, so I guess we will grab this. Just to have. Make sure there's nothing else lying around. Oh, shotgun shells. Just make life easier for ourselves. Oh, is there anything over there? Nope. Alright. Okay, I think we come upon a save point here soon because we're getting close to the end of our stream. Absolutely nothing that way. Oh shit, are we gonna get some backstory? Is the dude singing opera? Is that what's happening right now?
Dr. Marcus?
10 years ago, Dr. Marcus was murdered by Umbrella. You helped them. Didn't you?
Didn't you? Oh, sorry, my laugh is better. Alright, we're gonna switch it up here. We're gonna drop a couple of things. We don't need this. We'll leave that there.
Let's split up.
Roger. Okay. Okay.
Let me see, make sure we're going to the right place. Mm-hmm. Right, this should be a blue study. Notice to all staff, this document is very old. Much of the writing is illegible. Regular meetings of the Vaccine Research and Infectious Agents teams will be held. Both meetings are security level 5 and will be held in the following locations. First floor, West Operations Control Room. Second floor, Southeast Meeting Room. The entry code shall be 815. Thank you. And I'm gonna step out of here before things get crazy just to make sure. Okay, so there's gonna be crows in this room. We don't want to die. Taking it. Oh, damn it. Silly girl. Silly girl.
Come on. Come on.
Okay.
This is why we gotta stick together, guy. Can't just be leaving me behind. Alright. We're looking for double doors here. Nope. There we go. you are. So we won't look at anything in this room just yet. We're gonna take this time to save. Take it. And we'll save it. Slot A. We'll save it here. This will be Rebecca 30. Perfect. So that's going to do it for the stream for tonight. Thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. It's definitely been fun. Resident Evil 0 is what we're playing through right now. I think we made some good headway. Didn't really need the walkthrough. The game's kind of self-explanatory, and it's been fun avoiding the walkthrough and being able to play the game the way that I remember it. So we're gonna leave it. I'll leave this thing up just in case things come up like it did here a minute ago. But super excited to get through this game. It's definitely been a lot more fun just kind of playing it. Thanks to all the guys that have been hanging out. Dank Souls, thanks. It's been great for me, man. Thanks for coming out and hanging out. I really appreciate it. I hope you come back and hang out with Jack of All Games on Monday at 8:30. That guy streams Call of Duty games. And please catch Mr. Senor's pre-recorded videos. He did one on Ranger X, really good about mechs if you're into anime and just mech games in general. So thanks for everybody who's watching and came out to watch the stream tonight. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having a beer with me. Please follow us on Instagram at the Bearded Gamers. Comment on our posts. Comment on the stream and the videos, and tell us what you like, what you don't like, and if there's any beers you want us to drink, any games you want us to play, any places you want us to go. Just let us know. We're always open to suggestions, and we're always ready to have a good time. So like I said, make sure you guys catch Jack of All Games Mondays at 8:30 is myself, always Tuesdays at 9. And Mr. Senor will be creating a lot of pre-recorded content. So he just put out his video with Ranger X, just talking about the history of the game, talking about mech series and animes in general. So that's a great video. Watch that, comment on that, like that if you like that. And so yeah, we got plenty of stuff coming for you as the summer is coming to a close and the fall is coming. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to be releasing and hopefully having a good time. So if you guys want anything, need anything, or just have a thing to say, we're always happy and willing to do stuff about it. So as always, cheer to you guys, and just remember, keep it classic, because it's more fun that way.